Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to Shane Shatters Presents Classic Indies. I, of course, am Shane Shatters, and thank you very much for supporting our show here on the Independent Rewind. We've been getting more watches and more likes and more views and more comments than ever before, and I'm glad to be bringing this great archival footage to you, dating back, in some cases, 35 years. Some of the best that appeared in pro wrestling in this area. We're going to go to a match right now featuring two very historically relevant characters in the Mid-Atlantic professional wrestling region. This match comes to you from Martinsburg, West Virginia. It is June 1996, and it is none other than Corporal Punishment, led to the ring by his manager, the infamous Royce Prophet, taking on one of my good friends and a guy who personally has been a mentor and a hero to me during the course of my pro wrestling days, none other than Tom Brandi. Let's go to the tape now, if we can. Shot from the balcony at the Apollo Civic Theater in downtown Martinsburg, West Virginia. We're going to have to cut that out. No, it's the hideous Penguin Man. No one turned down the music for the Corporal. Yes. This is on a stage, ladies and gentlemen. The seating capacity up on this is a theater. This is a traditional old theater. This theater, I believe, was built in 1870s. There was no seating on the stage. What we have here, the crowd is all out beyond the orchestra pit, just like you would go and see a high school play or musical. So the ring is definitely separated. Pull the microphone away from your mouth, Danny. Royce Prophet, ladies and gentlemen, one of the more colorful characters in the history of Mid-Atlantic wrestling, Northeast wrestling. He's been all over. He was a quiet man, and he kept to himself, as you can tell. Golf club handy, one of the staples of independent professional wrestling managers. Based on the success of Jim Cornette and the tennis racket, everyone decided that the golf club was the way to go. Some used it better than others. Love the boots, Royce. Snakeskin boots. Always nattily attired. And the chant goes out, Penguin, Penguin, Penguin. Okay, so Tom Brandi's introduced as Johnny Gunn. Okay, during the early 1990s, Tom Brandi was, in fact, working some shots for WCW World Championship Wrestling under the name of Johnny Gunn, and he was tag teamed with the Z-Man Tom Zink. Crowd awaiting the arrival of Johnny Gunn. Apparently he's off the camera, down off of the stage, encouraging the crowd to with their penguin chant. There he is. Apparently has something to say. He's grabbed the microphone.
Every time I see you, you not only look better, but you're so much better.
Ha! Oh, he's... Uh-oh. Penguin tried to stand up on the bottom rope and missed it. Almost fell.
14 days, and all he lost was 2 weeks. He goes back. He doesn't take pictures, he takes posters. Let me tell you, Fanny.
I'm missing a little bit of the of what's being said here.
His high school picture was an aerial shot.
His high school picture is an aerial shot. Wow.
One more. He goes,
Uh-oh, they're fat shaming Royce Prophet here.
goes outside and watches the numbers change.
I certainly hope that any of the more sensitive, politically correct folks who may be watching this professional wrestling do not take offense to the jokes. Your referees, handsome Howard Goldman. At ringside, Tricky Dick Kerkhoff. The ring announcer, Iron Joe Miller. And in the middle and on the other end, Jay Young, who worked for the WEPM AM radio station, who helped sponsor my talk show in the late 90s, professional wrestling talk show on the radio. Corporal Punishment, taken to the second rope to try to elicit crowd response and support. Not getting it. Johnny Gunn, also known as Tom Brandi, definitely getting the support. Corporal Punishment, many of you harder core or quote-unquote more knowledgeable smart fans may know him as the man who brought you Maryland Championship Wrestling, Mr. Danny McDevitt, who was quite a talent in his own right and has made quite a impression on the independent wrestling scene as a promoter since his wrestling days have essentially concluded. But this, our member fans, is June of 1996. This is 24 plus years ago. And still a young man, still getting his footing in professional wrestling. A lot of similarities between Danny McDevitt and myself. Getting into promotional aspects very young. We did a lot of different things. Trained by Axel Rotten. He really knew how to work his way around a ring. Snags a side headlock. Oh, a side headlock takeover and a head scissors. Side headlock again, and a head scissors again by Gunn. Third time's a charm. Oh, push. Something of a stalemate. Oh, did he slap him in the mouth? That's not going to get over well. I'm probably going to alternatively refer to Johnny Gunn and Tom Brandi. Oh, that was a good one. Here's your receipt. Oh, and a boot. Back to the head. Solid tackle by the Corporal. Gunn coming up. Oh, going for it. Rolling reverse. Blocked. Oh, cross body. 1, 2. Tom Brandi was as agile of a big man as you're ever going to meet in your life. I mean, this guy could move like a cat. I mean, and he can still move like a cat. 24 years later, the man has a high jump like nobody's business. I saw him coming out of the corner last summer in New Creek, West Virginia, at a fair event that we were doing. He ended up so high, air traffic control got involved. Corporal looking for the microphone again. Hooba, 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 hooba. Really just a break in the action. He's trying to get into Tom Brandi's head here, and that's not going to work. Tom Brandi is, by this point, 10 years in his professional wrestling career. He's already been all the way around the world and then back again, wrestling with some of the top talents. Oh, grabbed his foot, pulling him outside the ring here. What do we got? Big block, and another block. Brandi's getting the better of this exchange into the apron. Oh, the Penguin with a cheap shot. Didn't really do any damage, but enough about the distraction to hit that reverse neck breaker. Out on the floor, inches from the orchestra pit, which you cannot see due to the darkness. But I do know for an absolute fact from being on this card, somebody did fall into the orchestra pit later on that evening. Taking it to the streets, so to speak, down the steps and out into the crowd. Camera angle trying to catch a glimpse of them, but we're basically staring into the abyss. Where are we at here? Oh, there they are. There they are. You see where they're at here? And they're fighting it out down here, right in front of the crowd. Probably about 300 strong on hand this afternoon. This was a Sunday afternoon, as I recollect. Oh, no, wait a minute. Now they're down in the pit. They're down in the orchestra pit. Oh, and Brandi with a chair. Lands a good shot on the Corporal's head. And one more time for good measure. Tom Brandi not afraid to take the fight to you at all whatsoever. And Handsome Howard trying to put a count on him, but they're not paying any attention, and in no way, shape, or form does he want to throw this match out. This was one of the matches that fans came to see on this afternoon, and they are not going to just throw it out because a rule got broken and things got a little out of hand. Sometimes that's the way it works in professional wrestling. If any of you at home ever wonder why a match didn't get stopped because something happened but another match did, oftentimes it's based on where the match is on the card. How important was it to the crowd's attendance that day? And the Corporal going for a pile driver. Oh! Oh, no! Oh! Good God Almighty. And Tricky Dick Kirchhoff's looking on, and he is not happy with the Corporal's behavior. And Royce Prophet just egging him on, trying to upset the crowd, egging him on to these bad tactics. This might be the end of this one. Thunderous elbow from the Corporal. And a cover. 1, 2. Didn't hook the leg. Did not hook the leg. Always a mistake. It's one of those things I always come back to. If you're not hooking the leg, you're not serious about trying to get your pin. Prophet choking Tom Brandi along the ropes while Handsome Howard Goldman's distracted by the Corporal. Corporal choking him out, putting a boot to the throat, using that rope as leverage. And Tom Brandi is in trouble, fans. He is in trouble. And the Corporal fed, very desperately fed for Royce Prophet to get some. Well, he's got a hold of Royce Prophet. I think he's got him. Oh no, he had him around the head like a headlock, like a reverse headlock. And Royce Prophet taking advantage of Tom Brandi here. Snapmare by the Corporal. Now he's going to lean in on a headlock. What he's trying to do here is he's trying to wear on Tom Brandi. Tom Brandi's been disoriented. He's been hurt. His head and neck are probably still hurting from that pile driver a moment or two ago. Now keep in mind also that the Corporal is almost fully attired in fatigues. So there's a lot of material there, a lot of heavy material. And you get that over your mouth and over your nose, and you start sucking it in. You start sucking the material in to your breathing passages. Not to mention, he's got probably more than a few pockets on this thing. He's probably can reach down in there and grab any of a number of survivalist type materials that he could possibly use in here to hurt Tom Brandi. And Tom's he's with it here though. He's lucid. He's getting the stomp. He's trying to keep the blood flowing, trying to keep the hands and the legs moving. He does not want to be in a position here where his oxygen and his energy and his adrenaline is completely blocked off. And he's waving them in. He's literally just waving the crowd in, saying, come on, get behind me, give me a little bit of support. This is a main event level match here on this great afternoon of wrestling at the Apollo Civic Theater in downtown Martinsburg. And a drive to the stomach. And a drive again. Third time, let's do it. Hits the ropes, coming off, ducks the clothesline, coming off this time over the top. Didn't hit the floor though. Holding on. Look at the big man, skinning the cat. 270 pounds, and a spin around for a crossbody too, and this is good stuff. Look at Tom, inside out clothesline, took him almost out of the boots. This is one of the best workers that I could personally ever work with, and I'm not saying that because he's a friend of mine. Tom Brandi was a top flight talent and really didn't get the opportunity in the World Wrestling Federation and WCW that he should have got. Ducks it again, coming off another duck. What do we got going on here? Double, look at this. Oh! Headbutt right to the Corporals. And we got action here, and the men are down on the mat, and what's going to happen next? Prophet trying to encourage the Corporal back to his feet. And Howard Goldman putting the count on him, and very slowly as well, giving these guys every opportunity to try to get to their feet and have a reasonable final conclusion to this match. Caught the boot, and Brandi's got Corporal in trouble here. Spin him around. Atomic drop, big time atomic drop. Coming off the ropes, Bulldog. And Brandi's ready. He's ready to finish this thing. I think that he's been ready, and now it's time. Corporal backed into the corner, and Tom is going to seek crowd approval on this one. This is a crowd pleaser. A 10 to the head. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Big back body drop. As though Brandi anticipated being shorted on payoffs. And a cover 2. Barely kicked out. Brandi didn't hook the leg this time either. Goldman and Royce Prophet apparently have a little argument going on. Shoots him off. Irish whip. What do we? Oh! Sleeper hold. Here comes Prophet. He's begging for it. Oh, and now Tom Brandi's going to go after the manager, the hideous Penguin Man, and he pushes Goldman. Oh, look out from behind. The Corporal with a shot to the back of the neck. Don't forget that earlier. Now here, off the ropes, coming in. Oh! See you later, Penguin. Heading back to the Arctic Circle. Anybody pulled. Oh, look at Tom Brandi putting it on him. He's trying to head back in. Shoulder to the stomach. One more time. What do we got? Sunset flip, 260 pounds up and over the top. Oh, the Corporal dropped the leverage. 1, 2, 3. Oh, are you kidding me? The Corporal steals one from Tom Brandi here. Outrageous. Unbelievable. What are we going to do here? I mean, is this decision going to be allowed to stand? Is this decision going to be allowed to stand here? Because clearly, outside interference on the pinfall here, and Brandi is pleading his case here to Goldman. And in the meantime, the Corporal and the Penguin have headed out of town. They have go ahead and hightailed it and headed on out. They don't want to be stuck around to be put in a position of having to try to resume this matchup. This was an upset, a big-time upset this week here. You know, the Corporal getting the opportunity to win a match over a talent the caliber of Tom Brandi at this point in time, a man who had been freshly on television for WCW and very soon enough WWE he would be on. Big time upset. Oh, too much of a gentleman to unload that punch on Goldman. I certainly would have. All right, fans, that's it for this episode. I'd like to thank you once again for stopping by the Independent Rewind and watching Shane Shatters Presents Classic Indies. We're going to see you next time with even more excitement than what you saw this week. Stay tuned. Thank you.